I've been wanting to do this for years. I've talked about it with people. Wouldn't it be cool to have a Bob Ross somewhat inspired show for nudes, for whimsical nudes? And so anyhow, in the spirit of Bob Ross, I am amongst happy trees and creatures. We're doing a plein air painting. I'd like to do all my paintings plein air, but I don't have any rules for this channel, so who knows? Anyway, in the spirit of Bob Ross, here are some Bob Ross quotes. Oh crap. Bob Ross quotes. Find freedom in this canvas. It's so important to do something every day that will make you happy. Every day is a good day when you paint. If you're gonna do too much, it's gonna lose its effectiveness. Anytime you learn, you gain. It's life. It's interesting. It's fun. Okay, and lastly, this is the longest one, but I think it's gonna become my mantra. Because at any point we can change our minds. So here goes. Isn't it fantastic that you can change your mind and create all these happy things? Okay, that's my new. I'm gonna say that a few times. All right, so here we go. We're gonna do a mermaid. I like mermaids, and so because it's got to be like so fast, like this is not time motion. Very little layering. This is just a very cheap, tiny, thin canvas. I think a cardboard underneath here. I actually got it from my dear grandma, and she passed. She was also a painter, a landscaper. She was inspired by Bob Ross. She did well, and she and I watched a lot of Bob Ross near the end. So, in the spirit of Bob Ross, first episode of Spirit of Bob Ross painting. Okay, I'm gonna just make the canvas wet. Okay, it's stretches of paint. It's chill. Canvas is pretty messy. It's dirty, but I'm not gonna like add a whatever. We're just gonna make it wet. Okay. I've always been really frugal, so like waste not, want not, you know. And paint wasn't always something I could afford. So when I had it, I'm like stretch it. So that's kind of like the way my art has always been. So any kind of art medium that costs a lot of money, it's like, oh, I can't do that. I'm thinking, about all sorts of mediums. So I'd like to get into in the future that are cheap, you know. And so I was picking my husband's brain, and anyway, he's a concrete finisher. So right now I'm at his skate park. If I go down a little bit, you'll see right now, like the camera's propped on his skate park. Anyway, if you want to have like a tour of the skate park, and I'm like in the way of the quarter pipe. Let's see. Okay, the quarter pipe, and then we go around here, and there's like a half pipe. It needs to be blown off. Pyramid, and then I'm propped up on this thing. Anyway, so I don't have a microphone or all the gadgets for this smartphone. You know, this is the first thing I got going. You know what I mean? And we're just gonna see how it goes. You know, we're gonna see. And it's funny, yeah, because so yesterday I got a pretty cool interview from my favorite copy shop in town. And then I was like, okay, hey, I want to get another interview, right? And then the guy was like, nah, I'm trying to get out of the smartphone world. So it's funny because for all these years I've been judging, and now here I am. And then he is trying to get out of it and then go into the judging. So he did not give me an interview. He was a bartender, a nice bartender. And I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe we should have switched. Before I bought my smartphone, we should have just switched. But the thing is, I would have kept going with the flip phone. You know, the flip phone is cool. It's just, it stopped notifying me altogether. And I want to do a little bit of traveling. So you gotta have, you know, GPS and stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna go for this mermaid, okay? Big brush. Bob Ross also said something about painting the Mona Lisa with a 2-inch brush, okay? I'm just using a sponge thingamajigger. Okay, so, I'm gonna go ahead and put her head out here, and then shoulder, and then hand, and then boob, happy boob, always, happy boobs, and then belly, waist, hip, okay, and hand, well, shoulder, sorry, and then elbow, hand. Okay, nice. Got off to a good start here. Okay, and then, so then, okay, the fin is just gonna lay flat a little bit, and then I'm gonna have a, you know, circle, sort of back around, like that, like that. Okay, so here we go. Off to a great start. So background is gonna be a sunset. Okay, so we got the yellow. The way I paint, I always kind of, I mean, I don't know. I don't have any rules. But in this situation that we're in here, I'm going to layer it from light to dark. And I don't want to contaminate my brush with any kind of dark. Okay? Some paintings I do in just black and white, so I just do only black. So, you know, it's like, there's no rules. But anyway, in this situation, we're using sunset. Okay, sunsets. Woo. My cat is Gilgert, okay? And joyfully, okay, he is named after my son's cartoon character. So my kids are raised without any screens, and my son Gilgert, my son is not named Gilgert, okay? My son named his cartoon that he drew on paper Gilgert. So it was his own character from his own mind. And anyway, so then we adopted this cat. His name is Gilgert. Anyway, he's been such a joy. He's young. He's 8 months. He's wonderful. So I'm out here with all the joyful things, and I'm painting happy boobs. And so the sunset. The thing with sunsets is they're kind of like rainbows in a sense. But like it starts from like, you know, when you got your red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Okay, so cut out the green. Just cut that out, okay? And so you have the green would be like, say, the grass. Okay, then we start with the sunset, which would be like maybe the sun, a little bit of yellow, and then it goes to maybe a orangey pink, and then it goes to like maybe a reddish even, and then up to purple and then blue. So it took me a while to figure that out. You know, eventually at the toppest part of the sky, it's going to be like a blue or dark blue because it's turning night on the opposite side of the sky, right? So when you look at a sunset, it's got all these brilliant colors for only a second, and there's like amazing and incredible photography out there that I you know, have not been able to do. I've just seen those moments with my eyes, and they are just incredible. So we'll see, you know, like happy sunset, right? It's like there's no real rules here. And so here we go. I'm gonna need, like, in my basket over here, a red, just, you know, a little bit of red here. Not much, because it's so any of the darker colors just go wild, you know. So got our red, and then let's see. All right, I'm sorry, I gotta take a break because I'm dripping paint on my husband's skate park. It's pretty bad. All right, I'm back. I got some cardboard underneath now to protect my husband's nice concrete. That's one of his art skills. Anyway, it should be like the number one rule of painting, right? Like, you know, lay down, you know, plastic or protect what's not needing to be painted. It should be that. It should be like that. But for me, I haven't been good about following a lot of rules. And so, I mean, and even with, you know, painting for anybody that may watch, for you, if you happen to be watching, I don't, you know, for the four of you that are watching, thank you. I don't know where I'll be next when I paint my next painting, or what it'll be. I mean, it could be a mermaid. I don't know. Anyway, so a lot of artists just say, "To hell with water." But I love water. So anyway, and I'm getting into the happy reds, and that kind of thing. So making some oranges and some things down into the sunset, and you can tell my mermaid is almost gone, but she's still around. She's still there. You'll see. She's around. All right. Then, really, ultimately, I've contaminated this to a point where, oh, now I gotta locate a freaking sink. Okay, so I'm not gonna use that. So I'm gonna have like a line of red, and then because we don't want any more yellow, right? We don't want any more yellow, and unfortunately, I'm only dealing with my little paint. Well, it's not unfortunate. Come on, Jodi. I mean, nothing is unfortunate. Nothing is unfortunate. And then we have this line of blue. Like, this is the top of the sky, right? The top of the sunset. Anyways, and then so because that's contaminated, I now have an old mask. Such fine fabric. Okay. And I'm gonna just kind of wrap it around my hand a little bit, like that. I'm gonna pour some water on it, because like I said, I like water. It makes it where you can't control, like you can't control the painting, I guess. This is what artists say a lot. You can't control the water. No, you can't control the doggone water. That's true. That's true. And like right now, I can't get this part of the painting. It bugs me. But oh well. Okay. So then you can't control water. Nobody can control water. Christ. What a mercy. Okay. So then, I'm gonna go for a new flex, and that is a new, like, part of this mask. Water, again, I need some water. Okay, water, okay, red, thinking red, okay, scarlet fever, man, okay. Oh shit, see, I always fuck up. Well, you can't, if Bob Ross were here, he'd probably laugh and say, you can't, and I'd say, what? Like, I can't fuck up? And he probably wouldn't say fuck, but he'd laugh, probably. He'd laugh and say, no, you can't. He'd say, like, no, you can't. And so I got a little. Anyway, I don't really want green. Sorry, in my sunset, but it's okay. You know, there's variables. Anyway, we're gonna lighten this up some. And anyway, this is not the end. This is by any means. No, by any means. I feel like we need some more red. So I'm gonna okay, go for it. I'm always so freaking frugal, you know, and this is alright to have a little yellow, because it's already freaking yellow. I'm always so frugal with paints, you know? Like these ones are little, especially, so I'm like, oh shit, I can't use that shit. Well, I don't know, plus I don't even know, am I a watercolorist or am I acrylic? I don't even know. So anyway, my mermaid looks, like I said, like she's freaking gone, man, she's gone. Now sometimes in a painting, what I'll do is just I'll draw a cutout, or so I'll draw something, cut it out, and then maybe trace it over my background. The whole point of me erasing almost my mermaid here is that I'm gonna come back in and maybe make her, you know, over. Well, of course I'm gonna make her over the top. So we have a fin here, and then she is going to come out with a shoulder and a hand and a head out here and another shoulder, hand, a fin, and then maybe a bit. I'm gonna make her fin bigger. I'm gonna make her fin a lot bigger now. I mean, isn't it fantastic that you can change your mind and make all these happy things? So we want to have a lot of continuity. I'm just using a piece of paper towel. Okay, and then with my middle finger, you know, and my paper towel. Okay, and then so then I go around. So we're imagining that the fin is flopping forward. Okay, we're gonna imagine that. So definitely want that fatty kind of, this part of the fin. We want to have that part to be fat here, and then it thins out. It thins out gradually. We have like a nice gradient. Okay, and then so her hand is sort of resting on the fin, like that, kind of like that. Okay. So then you have her. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting somewhere. You know, I don't have to paint all day. I mean, it'd be wonderful. But every day is a good day when you paint. Okay, so you know, I think now it's time we bust out some, you know, brushes. I don't know. What do you guys think? Brushes? Right now I'm gonna go with the fatty. We just go. For me, I like to go in every painting, light to dark, fat to slim. Okay, every painting, that's how I like to go. It's just what I've learned. I've never taken any art classes or anything. I like to go light to dark, fat to slim. Okay, so, but again, there's no freaking rule. There's no rules. Okay, but anyway, this is what I just like to do. Okay, so white it is, again, we've already done the darkers, but I'm doing the light on the mermaid now. I'm doing the light on the mermaid, and just to kind of give her a start. Okay, just a little start. And again, so Bob Ross said you could paint the Mona Lisa with a 2-inch brush. Like, I mean, he was being funny, you know, but when you have control over a big brush, you can lay down the paint so nice. And it is kind of like I have more control over a bigger brush sometimes than a tiny brush, because you can use the edge, you can use the kind of the straight edge. And sometimes on those tiny brushes I start to just kind of wiggle around a little bit. Okay, and I wiggle anyway. I just, you know, again, I mean, everything I say you could just say, oh, that's bullshit. Everything. the point is to go out and enjoy yourself, right? And hopefully I am not at all wasting your time, but giving you some sort of, anyway. The thing that's funny. Okay, so this is like one of the first videos I'm like talking at the screen, and man, I used to think people were so silly, you know, when they would do that. I mean, I mostly want to keep this channel like interviews and just sharing art, but I don't know. It's just here I am doing what I in life here I am doing what I've judged, and that's silly. That is silly. I don't know what the message is there. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. So you always want to make happy boobs. For me, in a painting, sometimes the boobs are like the idea. I don't paint exactly like Bob Ross, right? So I don't do the landscapes. I like to have a landscape in a painting, sure, but you know, to me, a painting needs eyes or breasts, and breasts sometimes are the eyes into painting. Now this is getting a little fatty over here. I'm probably gonna cut her off about here. Probably gonna, like, this would be the cut off, I think, and then so that would make her hip need to come up, and then that'll cut off too over there. That fin will get skinnier over there, but the hip would need to come up a little more right there, and then up. Got this like figure that if I had, I'd be ruling the world. That's the kind of figure I'm gonna give. Okay, so and then she got like a little bit of a. So, when you're in this position here, your rib cage would pop out a little bit, just a little. You don't have to be skinny or nothing. It's just that. I mean, skinny. She's skinny too, but what I'm saying is, she's gonna have some meat on her bones. But what I'm saying is, when you're in that position, your rib sticks out a little bit. She's got these boobs that are big and perky somehow. Gravity hasn't hit. She's like 23, fuck her, No, I'm sorry. She's wonderful. She's perfect. She's perfect. So the problem when I was 23 was that I didn't know that I was hot. Or, well, I guess pre-kids. So maybe 21. Okay, 21. I didn't even know. I was just like, well, I don't look like the magazine chick. Well, yeah, if I had a hairdresser and a fucking stylist, maybe an exercise coach, or what? Well, I mean, I was already exercising fine. But what I'm saying is, gosh, we got some weird standards. And I just want to tell every girl, or boy that's young, I'm like, you're freaking beautiful because you're young, my God. You got, all of your organs and features. Anyway, now I'm going for black, which is pretty intense. I should mention the intensity of black. Okay. Because black, that's it. Black. It's not it. You can always paint white like an eraser over black. Black is sort of it for watercolor. But we don't have rules, but I'm going to try to be careful. I'm going to try to be very careful. But we're going to put a little black, because, this is, well, gray or whatever this is. But, and then her hand would be like right here. So, because this is a shadow, right? And so then like where her fin would start a little bit here. And then, so I like the way that white paint is building up there. I think that the light behind her would do that a little bit, so that's cool. I'm gonna stay with that. A lot of times I like to outline my shit in just all black because it's kind of cartoony, but on here we're just chill. We're just gonna chill. And then, so you know, when the water sort of meets the, oh, I got into her arm a little bit, but we're thinking about continuity too. Now I'm using the whole piece of cardboard underneath the painting as my palette. So when you think about where the water, and it gets kind of like dark in some places where the waves are, kind of in a shallow, and then where the waves crest, it kind of, takes on the sunset, right? Okay, hold on. Get in there. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna get water. Okay, so, and you just want to have all that water mixing all this stuff together. It's like, I don't know, when the sun hits the water, I feel like a painting that uses water is a good thing. But whatever. I mean, I've seen some paintings that were in oil that drew my breath away. I just never worked in oil, and that's sad too, but whatever. I don't care too much because there's too much other mediums, and acrylic dries so fast. And so there was a point when I was like, I want to get into oil. And so this is a funny story. So very inspired by Lord of the Rings, Hildebrand art, and so then basically, I'm looking for my blue. Lord of the Rings, Hildebrand art, and so what basically they were also in that boat, and so it's so good to read because here I'm like, ooh, I want to get into oils, like fully into oil, and I can't really afford it, but I'm gonna try to get into oils, and where you can't stretch oil with water, you gotta have all the things, and anyways, so what happened was, oh shit, that's the wrong blue even. Okay, what happened, this is dark blue. Okay, so was they were making a picture with Gandalf, one of their big, one of the ones in the calendar, one of their big pictures, and they painted Gandalf's face, and you can read about this from their son wrote a book, and you can buy the book, or we checked it out at the library or whatever. But anyway, they painted Gandalf's face in oil, and the brothers were amazing. And what they would do is they'd work on a big canvas side by side, and then they like switch places. So those things that the other brothers didn't see, those ones that were made in the calendar, we don't know who painted what. It's all painted together. The twins painted it. And that was where we came up with those images that are now used in the movies. And, it's just so crazy. It's so cool. And so anyway, Hildebrand and the surviving brother is still making incredible things. Still putting out things that are breathtaking. So anyway, here we have, so what, the rest of that story about the Hildebrand and about how I decided that oil was not for me was because they had Gandalf's face painted, and then it freaking went on the guy's sleeve. It went on one of the Hildebrand's sleeves. And the son said he had never heard such expletives from his dad or his uncle. Well, one of the Hildebrands was like just going off, on losing an entire whatever days worth of work on this beautiful Gandalf face. Gone. And so, and here we have this very whimsical. We're getting very whimsical. Am I going to spend time on this sunset? I could. I think at this point, I'm going to take the good old COVID mask that's got the blue already and dip it in some water, some kind of gray water, and just see what happens, you know, because sunsets are kind of weird, you know. I'm going to try not to hit her because she has pretty decent skin tone, kind of getting in there on her, but we're not going to worry too much about her right now. Okay. Okay, and you want to have that continuity, so, you know, you don't want to have the waves all of a sudden, you know, go around her fin because they don't even know her fin is there, you know, she's not even interacting, she's way in front of these waves, so, you know, sometimes people will come up to the edge here and they'll want to go around in the blue, and it's like, create your background first, if you can. No rules, like I said, no rules. But the continuity of the background is kind of sweet because then it really does make the main character pop. You want her to pop. And again, the quote from Bob Ross here is, if you do too much, it's going to lose its effectiveness. So, and my son is a real designer. He taught me, there's kind of a rule, right, of like, where, yeah, a lot of a piece, you don't really want that, and see, now I'm kind of effing up the yellow part of the sunset, so we're gonna have to go back a little bit. You don't really want a lot of, detail all over. You know, you want the detail to be where you want people to look. And I didn't know that. And so I used to do my art like, oh, I want to use every square inch of this piece of canvas or poster board. I was very frugal, so I was buying poster board. If you ever want to do an art piece, you don't know if you're an artist, go out and buy a 50-cent poster board. Make a mess on it. It's fun. Okay, so white. We're going for white now because there is the actual sun hitting right here. So we got this sun hitting right here, and it's making, you know, it's making the water white. You know, around here it's making the water white. And I'm not, you know, I'm a whimsical ass painter. So don't take my word for these freaking my sunset failures. You know what I mean? And so we do have some yellows popping, because we've got to have that sort of be the basis. And since those are not symmetrical, I love symmetry, but they're not. So yeah, you don't paint them symmetrical. So we have this kind of, and they also you do see and whatever the clouds are doing. So the clouds can capture light on the bottom parts of themselves or whatever, and so we do have to create a few happy clouds here. And so what I'm going to do is take a little white and hopefully a little bit of black. Yeah, I got some black. Okay, and then so we're going to just create some kind of happy clouds. And they're just kind of coming off the screen over here like. The thing with the clouds is it's going to be reflecting the light from underneath. She's going to be reflecting some from all around because it's coming from like her, you know, right below or right at her level, sea level. And the sun is at sea level. So but the clouds are above that, and so they are going to have this kind of this upper part here, this where it is. So we add some yellows to here, maybe this under part, and then I'm gonna add another happy cloud over here. Happy cloud. So happy cloud. I mean, this is getting whimsical, very whimsical. Okay, and so you can see everything around me is more of a Bob Ross painting, and this probably not so much. Okay, that's okay. Hey, we're okay. Okay, and then add some yellows, because again, it's like reflecting these yellows that are happening across the sky, and so yeah, add some more yellows and here, and it is. I mean, this is more of a brilliant sort of rainbow sunset, but obviously, like I said, this is whimsical. It's very whimsical. And so then we have a bit of, and you want to be very careful. Like, so I'm going to add some gray, right? I'm going to make sure it's a real freaking light-ass gray, you know, because I don't want to make these upper parts of the clouds like black, right? But they are kind of getting dark up here, you know? And there's some circles and some things happening. There's just puffs, and, you know, it's just puffs of the cumulus or whatever they are. Okay. And then so then a little more gray, a little more. So then, you know, a little tiny bit of gray will just make a surface really great. You know. Okay, but now we're gonna have some of the white balls, you know, that just because nothing is pure white. Yeah, they say in nature, yeah, nothing is pure white or nothing is pure black. So yeah, my paintings are never, they're never like real life. So I have a lot of pure black and pure white in my art, and I don't care. But a little gray, a little bit of gray, it seems to add dimension to these clouds. I'm gonna kind of get rid of whatever kind of is popping out of these clouds, like just kind of these are popping off the sky a little bit. I'm gonna make a little more dramatic here on the. These are potential rain clouds, you know. These are happening, you know. So there's some stuff going on in these clouds, you know. They're coming in, and you don't know. I mean, whoa, you don't know what's happening in these clouds. And so anyway, I think that's good, you know, for now, because we've really got this that we're worrying about. And you know, right now I've worked on this thing for a half hour, so here we go. If I want to be on a Bob Ross schedule, I gotta go for it. So right now I'm gonna be very careful to not put any kind of other colors into her body right now, but I need to lay down some paint. I really need to, but I don't want there to be any blue on it or whatever, so I gotta make sure my brush is clean-ish and all that. And so, okay, and then we get the white. It's okay if there's some yellows and some oranges in her skin. I just don't want her to turn green, but she probably will a little bit because of these ways here that we're going over. So I'm gonna have to kind of clean my brush, add another layer. Okay. Again, his face is here, and okay. So I do a lot of mermaids, and I did one for a guy, a friend, and he liked it, but he said, but he called her Butterface, and I was like, oh, what's that? Like, oh, Butterface, like her everything is nice about her, their face, and I was like, oh, that's sad. But anyway, it's a small canvas, so, you know, come on. And so, anyway, but I thought about that, and so I'm like, that would definitely be, so this is where my son taught me, that would be the tertiary. That would be like, you know, the face is extremely important, so let's make sure the face is detailed, you know. And so that is what I'm going to try to do here as well. So, this is the point where I would say, how's your day? And you would say, oh, it's bien. And I would say, cool. So, but yeah, I'm going to figure out where we're going here, you know, with this mermaid, and it's going to be really nice. It's going to be great. So, she's got these kind of abs, a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. You know, she swims a lot. That's kind of how she works out, you'd say. And okay, so her head is little at the moment. That's cool. It's all good. And I don't know what color her skin's gonna be. What would look good, you know? We'll see. We'll see. Alright, so coming along. I think I'm just gonna give her black hair, cause, you know, black, man. She's gonna have some black hair, right? And it's gonna make it kind of flow. Like, it's gonna just have like long jet black hair. And I'm just gonna make her look beautiful, you know? Kind of went into a myth a little bit there, but okay. And, well, some of that is like maybe coming forward, like that. Okay, and she's really nice. Eventually we'll come up with like a name for her, you know? And again with like black too, you have like streaks of white, you know? It's like the sun hits it, and I mean, it just, maybe she has streaks, maybe she's older, I don't know, but there's streaks of white in her hair either. Okay, and then with that black, I'm gonna just kind of go, we're gonna go more black. We're just gonna go more black. So, you know, a lot of times that's how I paint. Is like, hey, whatever color I got, let's roll with it. So, right now I got a little brush. We're gonna do some quick scales. It's gonna be great. 1 minute, 2, and 1 minute, 2. Now sometimes when I don't add water, it seems like it gets a little gritty, like it doesn't go into the canvas, into the lines of the canvas. So I do that sometimes, add a little water. You know, obviously you gotta reload your paint as well. And so I'll grab the water here and the paint. If I can hold both. Okay, yeah, I can. Okay, cool. So I got the water and the paint. We're gonna be super efficient. Okay, and we're just gonna go for it and just keep dipping. Gotta keep on dipping. Keep on keeping on. You gotta make the best of a bad situation. Ever since I died. So, again, I have no microphone, so you are hearing the neighbor's dog, not my dog. Okay. When dogs bark, it reminds me of like when babies cry. If it's like if nobody is tending to the barking dog, it just really, I don't know, it like grates on my nerves. Like, why is that dog barking? And it just makes me want to go ask the dog, like, what's up? Why are you barking? And I don't know if there's anybody around to ask the dog that. So, we're left with this noise. It's discomforting, to say the least. But, if it was a crying baby, that's another story. I'd probably be going over there like, hey, really, really trying to help. Yeah. But we have a wonderful relationship, the neighbors and us, in that we don't communicate. We have trees between us. We can't see each other. Happy trees. Okay, that's not true though. I mean, there are neighbors that we're in touch with. It's just this particular neighbor with the barking dogs. We just don't, there's certain things you don't want to have a conversation about. I just don't think you can teach people things, and I'm certainly not in the business of doing that. Okay. Now the fin doesn't have to. Isn't it lovely how you can just change your mind and create these beautiful things? Also, there's no barking dogs. Oh, that's cool. Okay, at the moment, and here we go. So the fin is flopping forward, and we are. Woo! I really need a bigger brush because we're gonna do some shading and whatnot. And we're getting black here. I mean, it's like towards the end of the painting, basically. I mean, because, this is not a session painting. This is a one session painting. And we are getting there. Okay. Okay, and going around any kind of radius, you gotta think about inner radius is like way shorter fin. These fins are meant to stretch out. And then we're also getting fatter, so we have to, the scales are meant to stretch out. The fins are too, but the scales are meant, so the inner scales are flopping forward. Flopping forward. Okay. And then we almost done. And every scale is gonna have its own unique. If you're gonna love it, each scale's got to be unique. That's what Bob Ross would teach. Her belly button's gonna land about right there. That's important to know that. It's like a nose on a face. You got your eyes and your nose. Okay. Now, to go on her body, I'm not going to use any black, because when you use black, if you make a mistake, it's really hard. It's really hard to do anything about it. See, now my hands are so messed up, so I can't really finger paint. I gotta remember that. Sometimes I just go in and I'll smudge something. But my hands are pretty messed up right now. In fact, they're so messed up that I'm gonna wipe them a little bit with a paper towel, some water, just kind of give it a scrub. Yeah, it's plein air, so, I can't go to the sink right now. Legit, this is like, hopefully I'll be hiking into places and creating, nude fairies in Bob Ross style places. Okay, here we go. So, we have this mermaid, almost done-ish. This is the tertiary. We're getting into the fucking tertiary, right? And that's intense. And at this point, I'm like, what do I do with my life? Because, I don't want to fuck up. And so I get a little nervous. And so I got some fresh paint. I got a brush that's cleanish. And you kind of like make it go to a point, just kind of twist it and pull it. Okay, and I'm gonna just come in here with white, because you can always just see yourself what's going on, and you don't have to worry about like, oh man, I got some black, right in the wrong spot. Like, now she looks like she has a black hole on her cheek, instead of, oh, that was meant to be her eyebrow or something. Anyway, so here we go. I'm just gonna go with white and have this like kind of forehead, cheekbone, jawline over to here, and then lips, nose, alright. So we're gonna go for it. We're really gonna go for it, okay? And yeah, am I nervous? Yeah, I'm nervous. Okay? I've never done this before. I've never tried to be as cool as Bob Ross. Jesus. He's like freaking legend person, and anyway. And then, we're creating something that's very much fast. It's a fast thing. And so you have to, just be like, wow, Okay, so I'm going to add some white to each of the scales on the northern side of each scale. I'm gonna add some white. We're gonna come back in here with some color, but right now we're just like, we're thinking about I'm gonna say dynamics, because that's what you'd say, I guess, in music. We're thinking about the dynamics right now, but light versus dark. I forget the word on that. I forget a lot of words. My bad. I had a head injury, so I used to be smarter. What's weird though is like, I loved doing art as a kid. I was always doodling and shit. I was always making cartoons, weird people, weird faces, eyeballs on everything. But what's weird is I didn't really dive into art until chronic pain. So chronic pain, fruit of Kalo, but way easier scale, like a way killer scale. Anyway, so yeah, here I am. That's why my art is, way more chill than fruit of Kalo, It's like not as much chronic pain, If I had more chronic pain, I'd be a better artist. But what chronic pain I do have has made me get into it. It's one of those meditations where you forget that you have a throbbing head. I mean, you know, there's times you just can't lay down. You can't lay down with that. You can't. You know what I mean? So. Oh, okay. Okay, so my husband's telling me I gotta go. It's so funny because we're doing this magic tournament today, and yeah, I'm playing. I'm playing in the tournament. You open the cards, you make a pack right there, doing a draft tournament. So I'm kind of like getting some gray work like under her breast. Her arm needs a little bit more white. Need to go in with some skin color, you know, pretty quick here. So the forward paintings, you want more paint on a lot of times. Again, no rules. But a lot of times in the background I'll use more water, and in the front, like no water. Alright, so here we go. We're gonna go with some, I'm gonna go with some light brown. Alright, light brown, it is. And we're gonna think about outlining her body a little bit in light brown. And also adding like skin, you know, adding some light brown to her skin. It's sort of, you know, she'll have the white still, but she'll have light brown too. So you'll see that her skin, it is brown, but those places where the sun hits are very light colored, you know what I mean? So, which I guess I'm not really doing any of that correctly, per se. Okay, there we go on that. Okay. All right, we're almost there. I mean, yeah, at some point it's like I'm thinking, you know, like, oh, it's like graffiti, like, oh, I gotta make my mark on this canvas, and then I might not be able to get to it anymore, you know? So I gotta be rolling with it now. So this is the part where we're gonna go happy nipples, okay? So I'm gonna get up close, okay? We're gonna get up close, like, ready? Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna put one here and one over here. All right, there we go. That's not bad, not bad. Okay, now her face is obviously like, this is like a butter face for sure. So we're gonna roll with some more light brown, okay? And we're gonna get her done. We're gonna, like, how do we do this, right? Like, how do we get her face where, okay, so we're gonna have eyebrows that are gonna come through with more like a black eyebrow. A nose, like, and then lips that are bigger, you know, like, she be smiling, you know, she be smiling. And then that becomes sort of her chin. And yeah, we're getting there. Right now it's like so butterface, like pretty decent tits, her body, you know, like, oh, but her face. Alright, and then We go down here. We're making a mess down here. This is like my husband's amazing stamped concrete. And I'm just gonna be like, whew, sorry. This is so all over. Okay, so we're so close though, right? I mean, I just never done this before, so it's like, does this work? Get a cheek here, cheeky, getting cheeky here, cheeky. And a nose. Alright, so now I really just need to focus on the eyes and the mouth, and adding some more probably of this to the skin. So I'm gonna go back over here. All right, so almost there. We're gonna get a new brush, a real clean one, and it is okay. It's kind of short. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow with my white and go through on her skin, all over the skin with the yellow. And now we're getting some red on the brush, which is pretty cool. Go help that nipple out a little bit because I got a little flubbered. Okay, and then we're almost to the point where we're gonna just say, good, it's good. Because, yeah, why not? So, red lips. Here we go. And you always want a little bit of white on the bottom lip where it's kind of like pooches out a little bit. And you don't want it to be so flat, right? The lips shouldn't be so flat. And then I'm gonna go through with black, okay? This is real serious because black is serious. So, eyebrows, black. We're running out on this block here. Oh wait, no, that was a piece. Okay, black. I'm gonna go with the eye. And a little bit of shadow around the nose. Okay. So, I have to say that I'm really influenced by Dr. Seuss. And Dr. Seuss always had these people kind of happy with their eyes kind of half shut, of like that, you know? They're like, you know? I like that a lot, you know? I gotta say, I like that a lot. Okay, new brush. Gonna add a tiny bit of white to her face. And black where her hair is coming down, like so. You know, partly because her face wasn't really good over there, so we're not worrying about symmetry, we're just covering up her face. And then she'll need some shadow. Give her a nice chin, nice jaw. Yeah. Really, her neck ought to go way back here, so. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of blend that in with whatever's happening back in there. Okay, so pretty close. I'm gonna make a few more adjustments. And okay. And then really now it's about what color. What color is her fin? That is an excellent question. And then you know this hand here is very suspect. But this is where we get you know, whimsical. We get a little whimsical. And you know, wild. Okay, so what color is her fin? I don't know. Let's see what we got. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking green. If I get green, right? Green, let's do it. So, this is the end of the painting. This is the end of the rope. People are gonna have to just, you know, suck it up. Hopefully I'll get to be like a way better painter, you know? I hope. You know, like if I, you know, am just producing half-assed paintings, you know, then what? Then what? Okay, who knows? Who knows? Okay, so here I am. Whoa, am I still in the frame? Oh yeah. Okay, and you gotta make those sound effects. That's why Bob Ross would totally do that. He'd totally make sound effects, you know? Okay, and then this fin can go any way we want it to. So, I'm gonna make the bottom part fairly dark. Sorry. Woo! My bad. Damn, that was like a demon coming out. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, whoo! Should have held that back, you know? I shouldn't have been like sharing that with y'all. But maybe I needed that for therapy. Maybe I needed like you to know that I was dealing with my demons just then. I'm gonna add a little green here. Let's I mean, then we got that we gotta do. Let's just add some green. Yeah, fuck it. You know, let's say this is like slime, or she's just hanging out. And then we got this part. And yeah. And then we got, like, let's see, a little bit of yellow up here, and green. Yellow and green make green. Okay, so that's it. I mean, because hell, I mean, I could sit here and work on her hands and her whatever all day, you know, and maybe I should, but no. See, I'm so fucking indecisive. I'm like the most indecisive. Okay, no, I mean, and there's a part of me that feels like literally none of my paintings are done. And that's funny. That's a funny feeling. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna hang out with you, mermaid. All right. Here we go. Yeah, she's all right. I mean, she's not bad. Yeah, she's got her own little thing going on, her little whimsical mermaid world, and you know, isn't it fantastic how you can just change your mind and create beautiful things? Thank you, Bob Ross, Grandma Margie, for this canvas. Tom, for the stand that you bought me in the skate park that I made a mess on. And yeah, it's a beautiful day. And thank you also to you, dearest Gilbert.